Okay, so we got this goofy broad here that I came across on TikTok, and she's moaning and groaning and complaining that she's got to, have a job and work to support herself even though she lives alone. And of course, there is an alternative. It's called getting a husband, and then he goes to work, and then, you stay home and take care of the babies. But unfortunately, since you ladies demanded that you go into the workforce, and since feminism has told women that that's highly preferable to being a stay-at-home mom, because being a stay-at-home mom is the equal of being a slave, and it's oppression, and it's evil, so don't do that! Man is taking advantage of you! You're being oppressed! Meanwhile, you go to work every day, and some nameless, famous, faceless corporation, turns you into tax chattel. But that's not oppression. So anyway, she's still very young. She looks extremely young to me. She looks like she's like maybe 18, 19. She's probably older than that. But she looks like a kid. She could be my kid. Although, when I think about it, she could be 30 and she could be my kid. I'm getting old, man. But anyway, let's hear what ridiculousness comes out of her mouth, shall we? It should be entertaining at the very least.
So maybe someone here on TikTok can answer this question for me, because I cannot figure it out and I am so frustrated. Why is it that I have to work 40 hours a week just so I can have a place to live?
I'll explain it to you, and I'll answer her question because it's instructive, it's educational, it's important, and hopefully she'll see this because I'm going to send her a link. Number one, women decided to enter the workforce. So the majority of women go into the workforce, they don't stay home, so you double the amount of workers. In fact, there's more women working now than men. You double the amount of workers, you cut the wages in half. I just answered your questions. I just answered one of your most important questions right there. That's the main contributor. That's number one. Number two, thank you, inflation. Because inflation drives up the cost of goods and services well before it drives up wages. Hence, wages are consistently lagging behind the inflationary cost of goods and services as it relates to goods and services. So that's number two. Number three, you're bringing in these illegal aliens from south of the border, north of the border, east or west, and they're flying into Mexico from China and Korea and everywhere else and coming across the southern border, and they gotta live somewhere, don't you know? So less housing available, higher demand, less housing thanks to big government regulations and rent control and all that garbage. Drives up the cost of housing. So there's some reasons right there, sweetheart. And another reason is because education is crap and they don't teach anything, so you don't learn any valuable skills. You have no real human capital, so you go into the workforce out of high school, even out of college, and you have no skills, you have no abilities, and since you never had a job and you're 22 years old, you got a college degree, but you have no work experience, you have no human capital, and hence you can't make very much money, so you're left flipping burgers at McDonald's or working at Starbucks as a barista. Make a minimum wage. So I think I answered your question for the most part. Continue.
40 hours a week makes me $2,000 a month.
Where the heck are you working, honey? Oh my God, I think she might actually be working at a Mickey D's.
And my rent is $1,660. So
she pays more rent than I do. For a 2-bedroom apartment? You live alone? Why are you renting a 2-bedroom apartment when you live alone? I don't get this. Can't you rent a studio apartment? I wanted to rent a studio, but there were no studios available. Everybody had snatched them suckers up. I'm in a 1-bedroom. And that's still too much room for me.
Work 40 hours a week so I can have a 2-bedroom apartment. And
who's sleeping in the other bedroom? Why don't you rent the other bedroom out, huh? No, I want to live alone. That costs money.
And an extra $300 a month. Like, it doesn't cover my phone, internet, food.
Well, then how are you surviving? I mean, I don't see you sitting on a park bench making this video. You're not homeless. If you can't cover that stuff, where's the money coming from? Oh, I bet I can guess where it's coming from. Mommy and Daddy! Yeah, we can blame them for your entitled attitude and total complete lack of understanding of how reality works, let alone economics. But continue!
Oh, so not only do I not have any extra money, but just working makes me so exhausted that I don't have time either. Like, I get off work at 5:30, come home, and I'm just so tired. I'm so tired that, like, anything that I need to do outside of work, I then just push off to, like, the weekend, and I'm like,
isn't that everybody? You wash your clothes on the weekend, you do your food shopping on the weekend. Welcome to the real world.
I'm just too tired to do this after work. I'll wait until Saturday. So then I end up with so much to do on the weekend that ends up having to be split into 2 days. So I have to do stuff on both Saturday and Sunday. So then I don't get a day off. I don't get a day to relax. I don't get to decompress. So it is really like working 7 days a week.
Translation, my mommy and daddy never made me do chores, never made me get a job, so I went to school 5 days a week, and I pretty much frittered away my time and didn't learn anything or apply myself there, and now I think I should just have free time! Yeah!
Constantly. And I don't want to do that anymore, right? Like, I don't care how poor and miserable I would have to be. But I literally can't have a place to live without this, you know? Like,
You mean a job? Like everyone.
I don't know what to do. I'm not made for this. I don't have the money, time, or energy to enjoy my life outside
Why do I get the feeling this bruh may open a OF account?
of work, and I don't know what to do about it anymore, you know?
You could get another job! Joking aside, though. Yeah, not everybody's built for it. And you're a woman, so you have a fallback. Find yourself a man. You're reasonably good looking. I've seen some of her other videos. She cleans up real nice. Here she's been crying and all. No makeup. We know women don't look great when they've been crying for a couple hours like this broad has. So she's not a bad looking chick. She looks thin. She could find herself a man, but no. The effing sisterhood told her that she's got to have a job and work herself to death. Great. Lovely. Okay, so here's the same chick who was sold a false bill of goods and was told that, she could have it all, have her cake and eat it too, and now she's very unhappy that she has to work and make a living. Not rely on a man! And notice, of course, that possibility never occurred to her. No. And her questioning what she could do to remedy the situation. No. Relying on a man, that never even came up. So in this video, I think she's replying to the, comments in her last video that I just reviewed, which went viral. Let's see what her replies are to the replies.
Oh, my TikTok yesterday got way more attention than I ever thought it would. And I've been a little overwhelmed, but I'm gonna go ahead and just answer some of the questions I've been getting. Well, firstly, I just want to say that I am so lucky to be in this situation that I'm in, even though things are hard and
I got a lot of criticism, basically.
I don't have enough money. I have a place to live, and that's better than I've been able to say for, other parts of my life. So I have an apartment to live in, and I'm very, very thankful. So most people wanted to know why I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment because I got this with my now ex-partner, we'll call.
Why would there be 2 bedrooms if you had a partner, meaning i.e. boyfriend, and you would be sleeping in 1 bedroom? So why would there need to be a 2nd bedroom?
Him Peter. And just think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. That's definitely him.
Chad.
So we got this 2-bedroom apartment.
Hot loser.
So we could have a bedroom and I could have an office because I work from home. Oh, now.
You work from home? What do you say? You get home at 5:30 though. Maybe she's talking about having worked from home. Maybe during COVID she worked from home, and maybe now things have changed. I don't know.
Now, as of last week, Peter and I are no longer together, and thank God that things ended amicably. My life would be destroyed if that wasn't the case.
I'm just curious, just to interject here, wouldn't he have been on the lease? Can he just leave? I mean, you two rented the apartment together. Did he sucker you into being the only person to sign the lease? And then he just lived there? Did he pay rent, by the way? I guess he did, otherwise she wouldn't be moaning and groaning about, the rent being too much for her to afford now. Okay, but wouldn't he have been on the lease as well? Can he just walk away? That's strange.
You know, like that's where that video came from of rent here is $1,660 and I make $2,000. So
by the way, why would you still don't need a 2-bedroom apartment. Anywhere in that apartment could have been your office, okay? You could have set up in a freaking corner, all right? Very unwise to get a 2-bedroom apartment when the two of you were sharing a bedroom, okay? You should have done everything you could to minimize, not maximize your expenses. Dopey move, but continue.
So, like, if I had broken up with him and he decided to leave, like, I'd be screwed. I would.
Didn't he leave, though? Isn't he gone now? You're screwed now, then, right? I don't get this. This is clearly some stuff she's leaving out.
I was lucky enough to be able to take a mental health break. I took 2.5 weeks off of work to just exist in my own head and figure out what's going on. I have a pretty serious mental health disorder and I am having a hard time finding a therapist that specializes in it, and it's just been hard. I really needed the time off and I am very thankful to both Peter and my family, people I have to support me. Thank you so much to...
Is Peter still paying his half of the rent? And if so, what's she complaining about the rent for? It's weird.
Everybody who left nice, supportive comments.
Oh,
Anyone else who is going through the same thing, please just know that you are not alone.
Mainly to hell with the people that left negative comments or told me things I didn't want to hear. I see. What mental health disorder could she possibly have? Probably like major depressive disorder or something. I'm depressed! Yeah, try getting married and having a kid. You won't have enough time to be depressed. Okay, so we have this chick again. And she looks a little better. She has been crying her eyes out for a couple hours. Okay. She maybe has some makeup on. She's got nice eyes. I think she's a natural blonde. Looks like she probably has a decent body. You could find a husband. Yeah, you could find a husband. He could take care of you, and then you could have a kid, and then you wouldn't be depressed anymore. You could get rid of that mumbo-jumbo mental health issues that you have. They go out the window. All right, let's get into this. She's responding now to the negative comments. This should be interesting.
So my TikTok about not being able to afford to live got very popular, and at this point all of the comments are
you love it.
Like people being mean. Honestly, people like, oh, deal with it, oh, you only have to work 40 hours a week, you don't even have it that bad. And
yeah, try working a 60-hour week, honey. Try owning your own business. Try working 100 hours a week. Oh, no. 40 is too much for me.
Like, people really just assuming like that I'm lazy, and I'm really amazed. I'm amazed.
By the way, what do you mean assuming? They don't have to assume.
And I feel so bad for these people. Like, that's why I'm not taking it to heart. That's why it's not offensive to me whatsoever.
Maybe you should take it to heart.
Because all of these people have been raised or conditioned to believe that this isn't normal, that they should be working 70 hours a week, you know? And like, that's awful.
You work as many hours as you have to work to not live on the street.
I'm so sorry to all of you who are working harder than I am and still not making it.
I think I figured out where her mental health problem might be. Holier than thou syndrome.
And I am so sorry that the way that you need to cope with that is to be mean to other people.
Oh, that's what
like,
it is.
If that's what you gotta do to get through life, you do you. You know, like, if commenting mean things on young people's TikToks, if that makes you happy.
Well, you're immune to criticism because you're young, and we're criticizing you not because there's something to criticize, but because we have problems. Yeah.
And the rest of your life sucks. Like,
go for it, I guess. But just know that, like, I am truly, really sorry. I feel really bad for you that this is not only what's happening in your life, but, like, you think that you deserve it. And I just hope that there's a day where everyone just gets to be happy and doesn't have to shit all over everybody else, you know?
But you ain't happy. I find it very interesting. It's the end of the video, by the way. You're not happy. You're miserable. That's hilarious. Miserable human being. She's like 5 years old, and she's preaching to the rest of us how we ought to live our lives. Oh, that's so interesting. Cope much? So here she is again, Miss Know-It-All, who had to take 3 weeks off of work to deal with her mental health issues. Yeah, you want to know what her issue is? She has no meaning in her life. That's her issue.
So today is my first day back to work after having...
Uh-oh, I see some tattoos. A dog paw tattoo on her left arm. Oh boy. And something else on her forearm. And another tattoo on her right arm. The red flags are coming.
like 3 weeks off, maybe 2.5 off.
She's got a horrible job where she gets to take 2.5, 3 weeks off on a whim. Wow. She's only making $2,000 a month? What are you doing? What what job that only pays $2,000 a month allows you to take that much time off, where you can accrue that much vacation time? Maybe it was sick leave that she had accrued. I don't know.
I had a mental breakdown and just took some time for myself to just kind of figure out what's going on in my head, and now I gotta go back. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know if I'm gonna get fired. Everything is just really up in the air right now, and I am laughing because if I don't, I will cry. So...
Isn't this the same person that was telling us how to live our lives? She was just telling us in that earlier video, we need to live our lives. And then we're not living our lives right, and she feels sorry for us. I had a mental breakdown, but I'm going to tell other people how to live. Oh, wow. Okay. So, this is the last video of this chick I'm going to review. Of course, she's crying again, and she's having another breakdown. Isn't this the same idiot that was telling us how to live our lives? She feels sorry for us. And how dare you criticize a young person, and you're getting kicks out of it, and you're just doing it because you're unhappy and unfulfilled in your own life. And I'm just saying that because I'm coping. Because if I don't say that, and the hamster wheel doesn't spin out of control, I might have to accept the fact that some of you might have had some justified criticisms of me. But oh, no, I gotta cope. I can't accept that, so your criticisms, they're not really valid in any way. Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to listen to you? You're a mess! Alright, let's get into it.
I have spent all fucking morning looking for a therapist, and I'm so tired. I don't know how I'm supposed to find someone who's qualified for
what I'm worried I have. Yeah, you mean not being able to live in the real world because your parents didn't prepare you?
I'm worried I have. And, like, when I do call someone, I have to tell them that I think I have this problem. Otherwise, like, they're not going to be prepared for it. And then when I say that I think I have this problem, no one's going to believe me because it sounds fucking crazy.
What are you seeing, ghosts? You hearing ghosts? You hearing voices from ghosts? You're being attacked by demons? What's crazy about it? Is this a real legitimate mental health problem you're having? Or is it something... along the lines of voodoo? What are we talking about here?
And I need to find someone I can see in person because, like, they can't see it happening over telehealth.
I don't know what to do. I feel like I have to do this alone.
Do what? You haven't told us what the problem is. It's probably something goofy. It's probably something that has to do with the supernatural, the paranormal, or some weirdo stuff like that. That's enough. I can't take no more. Okay. Your problem is that your parents were too soft on you. They didn't make you do chores. They didn't offer you an allowance in exchange for doing chores. They were some of these, hippy-dippy type liberal parents who thought that children should never have to do anything difficult. So you never had a job. You never had chores. You never got work at 14. You never went to get that work permit from the guidance counselor's office. The guidance counselor, they give you that little green card that says you're allowed to work a certain amount of hours a week, and your parents have to sign it, and then you go, you wash dishes or something, and you learn what a work ethic is, and then you learn how the real world works, and then you toughen yourself up, and you build your strength up over time, and your resistance and your tolerance to, BS, and the stresses and the hardships of life, and then when you're a full-grown adult, you can actually take care of yourself. No, they didn't have to, she didn't have to deal with any of that, thanks to her helicopter parents. Lovely, lovely. And now we got this person with no resilience, thin skin, can't deal with any difficulties or hardships in life, and she thinks she's got the mental illness. She thinks she's got some kind of mental problem. The only problem you have, honey, is that you have had no obstacles put in front of you in life, so you're weak and pathetic and gelatinous. Which is why you get tired after you work like an hour. So, there you go. There you go. Wow. This is the future of America, people. This is what is going to be running our great country here. This is what is inheriting the West. So you, of course, know it's going to fall apart. So anyway, let me know what you think. Is the world unfair? And is it treating this poor young creature unfairly? Or is she just pathetically weak and vacillating because her parents were weak, vacillating, libtardo hippies that did a bad job raising her, and they were helicopter parents, and they didn't really raise her with enough adversity in her life to prepare her for the real world. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. On YouTube, I am the Bachelor Philosopher. On BitChute and Rumble, I am the Realist Philosopher. So follow me on those platforms as well. And if you really, really, really like my content, follow me on Patreon. You'll see the link at the top of the page. You could always use your support. And of course, Super Chat function is always open to you. And on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher. And I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.